Hey guys, Savage Joy here with Real Progress in Action. So tonight we had another debate. Sorry, I'm not sure why it looks a little like foggy or something. I'll have to mess with it afterwards. But in any case, so tonight was another dumb debate. I must say, overall, the people who hosted it were not as annoying as they usually are. Um, they actually did ask some tough questions, which nobody in the past dared to do. One of the things I appreciated was they asked Buttigieg uh, about why why there's so many African Americans in South Bend who have suffered under him. The moderator asked, how come 1 out of 4 African American people were arrested under his mayorship? And of course, he dodged the question. So I digress, but that was one of the questions that stood out to me. Also, one of the questions I appreciated was one of the moderators said to Warren, they were talking about, whether a democratic socialist, or as they call it, socialist, whether that the other candidates are comfortable with that, whether they think he could win. And a woman straight up said, do you think that do you think that it's because you said, and I quote, "you're capitalist, your bones"? Do you think that's the biggest difference between you and Bernie? And I was like, finally, someone said that to her. Thank you. And of course, she's like, so, and just dodges the question, as always. She always starts every single remark with "so." Always. But anyway, and I can't remember the other one, but there were definitely a few singers that I was like, people are finally like going gritty and getting to, the questions that we the people actually care about. So we'll start with Biden. Total mess as usual. Stuttering, slurring. Nobody really, I really honestly, I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, I was having a really difficult time understanding a lot of what he was saying. And I just kept thinking, oh my God, if he goes up against Trump will destroy him, like absolutely destroy him, hands down. Biden also did one of his infamous things he has done on every single debate thus far, where he'll go, and I guess my time is up. And he'll actually cut his speaking short, even though everyone else is trying desperately to get more time. It's quite apparent that he knows the more he talks, the more support he loses. At one point, he hugged Bernie, and it was awkward considering he's spending tons of money in his super PAC to attack us. Also, he came at Bernie and said that he, doctored those videos of, him saying he was cutting Social Security, which just was like a ridiculous, blatant lie. So him hugging Bernie was just like, what is this? Seriously, what is this? Rob, I agree. It is elder abuse at this point. I don't understand why they are pushing him so hard. Someone's telling him he could win this. Someone's telling him, oh yeah, keep going. You're a front runner. You can do this. I posted on Twitter the other day, there's a compilation of Biden telling other people to vote for someone else. And I gotta say, I don't know that any of us have ever seen that before, where someone will just ask a question and the candidate will just say, well, if you're going to ask me that, you may as well get, vote for someone else. It's so bizarre. But yeah, and I don't I don't know. Like, he literally says, go vote for someone else. Tonight, they asked him about his poor performance in Iowa, and he goes, "You're right. I didn't do great in Iowa, and I probably won't do great here." And he said that they were in New Hampshire. And I'm thinking, holy shit, that's defeatist as hell. Like, you legit just talked about like not winning in the state you're debating in. That's not a good way to sell yourself to the people, dude, but okay. So he's like, well, just wait till South Carolina. But we actually have more endorsements by African Americans than Joe does. So we'll see how that goes. But I was in Iowa for 5 weeks. So I saw this shit. I saw I saw the shit that was going down, and I'll get to that. I just got back 2 days ago, 48 hours ago. I flew back home after 5 weeks in Iowa. So it's been kind of crazy. My mind is still like, stuck on, shit that went on Monday, and it's still transpiring. And when Joe Biden says, I probably won't win New Hampshire either in the state of New Hampshire, he also stated, Bernie won New Hampshire last time by about 20%. And I'm like, why are you saying that? I mean, thank you, but why would you say that? You're literally pointing to him and giving him credit. You're giving him props for doing what you couldn't. He just doesn't think about shit. One of the things that was like so outlandish, it was actually funny. It's funny because we know the truth. Let's put it that way. But at one point, they were asking Joe about Medicare for all. And he was like, well, Bernie talks about Medicare for all. And every time you ask him how he's going to pay for it, he says, well, we'll see. And he's never said that. Or go figure. He literally has never said that, ever. Warren has. Warren has completely lied and things like that, but Bernie has never said that, ever. So it was so funny to be like, to just totally misquote and mischaracterize Bernie like that. Bernie said, they asked Bernie, what do you say? I forget the exact question, but they asked, how do you feel about something? And Bernie goes, because Trump lies all the damn time. And it was just really, it was perfect in the sense that he does not hold back. One of the things I also love that Bernie said was, Amy Klobuchar there were Jean Shaheen and who's just and another rep in the front row from New Hampshire. They were both sitting in the front row, and Amy Klobuchar gave them shout outs 3 times. Not kidding. And the one moderator said to Bernie, you voted against the new Trade Act. And why is that? The two reps here in New Hampshire voted for it. Do you think you made a bad decision? And he goes, no. Now, any other person would be pandering and saying, well, maybe if, no, he stood his ground. And he said, even though I'm in New Hampshire, even though there's 2 reps sitting right there, it really, like, it doesn't matter. He stood his ground. He said the entire bill doesn't even say the words climate change. No, it's incrementalism. No middle ground. Screw that. It was just, I was really happy that, he was unapologetic. He's like, no, this is the way I voted. I'm proud of it. I wouldn't change. That's awesome. So at one point he said something like, Bernie, this is, I'm confident that, whoever wins the damn thing will come together and try to defeat Trump. And everyone on the stage clapped except Liz, which shows me that if Bernie is the nom, she has no intention of helping us whatsoever. She certainly, isn't saying anything about, the bullshit election rigging from Pete. And she's certainly not sticking up for us having, our votes fucked with. So, I mean, we've learned a while ago we can't trust her. Bernie said that in Iowa we increased people under 29 by 30%. That's freaking huge. I talked to so many people who were caucusing for the very first time. And some of these people were in their 50s. I'm not kidding you. He really inspires people to come out. And that is something that is imperative. If you want to beat Trump, let's get the disenfranchised. Let's get those who, are just totally, disheartened. Bring them out. That is exactly what Bernie does. Liz was talking about something like, well, they were all asked about bringing people together. And, Pete was saying how he doesn't think that people can come together with all these like radical ideas and stuff like that. It's too divisive. And Bernie nailed it. He said, what's going to bring people together is supporting a $15 minimum wage. What's going to bring people together is supporting national rent control. What's going to bring people together is giving everyone healthcare as a human right. And so on and so on. And he nailed it. That is so true. It's the issues that are going to bring people together. Our entire movement has turned out because we believe in these, this platform. It's this is what it all comes down to. We have empathy. We don't want other people to hurt. It's, people act like it's, so important to look at identity politics and things like that, with Warren stating things like, oh, as I like to say, the president will do everything she can. And she throws these little things in that's just so condescending. And so she's using struggles that women have had to her advantage. She's saying that even though, even though women have fought and women are, dealing with sexism day in and day out, I am going to capitalize on the fact that I'm a woman and just keep throwing it in people's faces so they feel guilty. Because that's exactly what she's doing. It didn't work in 2016. It's not working now. When I was in Iowa and I was I was walking into the Caucus station my location was at that I was supervising. I walked in and there was a girl with a Warren shirt and she said, "Are you ready for a woman in the White House?" I said, "Yeah, Jane Sanders." And she just went, "Ugh." And I was like, well, don't ask then. I'm not going to vote for that bullshit. Like, I would love a woman president, but not any of the ones who have run. No. So, okay, so another one of the things that Bernie said that I've heard him say before that I really appreciate is when people were talking about war and the military and things like that, he was talking about meeting with the UN. Nobody says that. Nobody talks about, building coalitions. Everyone always says, well, we need to, troops here, troops there. And Bernie's right. We need to actually discuss things with people in the UN and actually try and come to compromises and actually work things out so we don't just go in and bomb people and make people unsafe. And it's not your kids going over there to fight in the war. I mean, he nailed it. He nailed it. What really incenses me and just really just drives me mad is when people like Elizabeth Warren, who voted for Trump's military budget twice, for, she's sitting there like $700 billion in the war budget 2 times. And then she's talking about how there's too much war. Really? No. That's why these moderators need to be more educated. Because if I were there, I'd be like, if you feel that way, why'd you vote for Trump's military budgets? Period. It's really that simple. You're not against war if you're voting for that shit. What the hell do you think that, the budget's going to go to? Freaking kumbaya? Fuck that shit. Let me see. Absolutely, Margaret. Smart women can choose who best represents them, not the identity of the candidate. Absolutely. Bernie is the most pro-women candidate. He has been for decades. I trust him. As far as Klobuchar, they asked her, how, Hillary keeps trying to remain relevant every single day with coming out with new attacks on Bernie. And she's salty because she lost to the most hated man alive. And now the dude she ran against is a front runner. It's gotta suck. Oh, well. So they asked Amy that, and she said, I like Bernie. She said, one thing that Klobuchar kind of switched it up a bit tonight. She tried to get a little sassy, but she stuttered when she did it. Like, her voice shakes. If you're going to be, kind of try to go hardcore on people, you're going to have to, say it without your voice shaking. You're going to have to say it legit, clear, strong. And she didn't. She said, Bernie, you don't have the support to have Medicare for all pass when you get in there. Then she started talking about how, centrism and moderates are going to be easier to work with Republicans. And Bernie brought up how he was called, the Amendment King. He passed more legislation than any other person in the House. So it's, Yeah, it's bananas. Pete, so Klobuchar tried to go at Pete, and it was really freaking funny. So Pete said, Amy said, Pete, you said that watching the impeachment was exhausting and you'd rather watch cartoons. Well, me, Liz, and Bernie were at the impeachment hearings, and she was like mad incensed about that. She was like, you think it was exhausting on TV? We were there. Let's see. Oh, so also, they were referring to Pete as a newcomer because, he's only ever been mayor, and he, absolutely just decimated his city with gentrification and horrible, effects to African American people. He was an awful mayor. And, when you win an election for like 8,000 votes, I'm sorry, you don't exactly have a huge history in politics. Also, mayor isn't exactly like Senate, Congress, it's mayor of one town. So they were talking about, how he's a newcomer. And Amy said, there's a newcomer in the White House. How's that working out for us? And I was like, damn. Shit. It was funny as hell. So Steyer said, Pete concerns me with his lack of experience. And then he said, what makes you most qualified? It was pretty awesome. It was pretty hilarious. Steyer didn't have as many man crush moments as I was hoping for. As you guys know, he is like total like man crush over Bernie, and it's hilarious. But there wasn't really any of, I don't know, there wasn't really any of those moments tonight. Yang said, first thing he says, shocker, I'm so excited. I'm going to be giving everyone $1,000 a month. Wow. All our problems are solved. That helps women's inequality. That helps racial disparities. That helps us pay $200,000 worth of student loan debt. That helps us get insurance that's actually affordable and adequate. That helps us with everything. Thank you so much. Everything out of that dude's mouth is like freedom dividend. So yet again, Yang also said human-centered capitalism. What in the hell is that? What the hell is that? Human-centered capitalism. I mean, that is the biggest oxymoron. He also says trickle up. What the hell is that shit? Trickle up. Oh my God. The one thing Yang said that I did agree with, and the only reason I agree with it is because I've said it a bunch of times and other people have, is that all of our problems did not just start with Trump. And that is true. But I mean, it wasn't profound because like every one of us has said that. Jenna, Jinx. So Warren, as I said, they asked her about capitalist to your bones. She also, was making these statements like a president can get it done all by herself. Amy Klobuchar was doing that too, injecting she and her into everything. Just very frustrating and annoying. So Warren said, on day one, I will be launching a new impeachment inquiry, an investigation on day one. That's what you're going to do. We've just dealt with this for 4 years. And on day one, that's what you're going to use your executive powers on. To open up an investigation. Really? That's what you're doing? Bernie said on day one he's going to legalize marijuana with an executive order. Bernie also said he's going to reinstate DACA to the hundreds of thousands of people of color who are risking getting deported. Those two things will change lives. That's what he's doing day one. So I'm sorry if I don't get excited because you're focusing on Trump on day one of your, are you freaking kidding me? Focusing on Trump your first day? It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. Yeah, okay. So I thought, look, Yang came out last week and there were 3 articles how he was saying, I think a lot of my voters will go to Bernie Sanders in Iowa, and I support that. And then people were saying, if you dropped out, who would you back? And he was saying Bernie Sanders. There was all this leading to the fact that he was going to drop and endorse Bernie. Yet tonight, he's there on stage, and he's talking like he's still going to the convention. Here's my problem. And I'm going to get some hate for this, but that's never stopped me from saying shit before. Okay, so as I said, I was volunteering in Iowa for 5 weeks. I know how the caucus system works. One of my jobs at the caucus was as a whip. And what that means is I was responsible to go up to people who got less than 15%, who were not viable. And I would go up and say, hey, you should join Bernie because I got a few Biden people to come over too, which was pretty awesome. I got some Yang people to come over, but I did have some Yang people who absolutely refused. Instead of realigning, they left. And that pissed me off because I told them straight up, Yang literally said he's cool with you going to Bernie. He literally said that. And they were too pissed and they just walked out. They refused to go anywhere else. Now, I do know some Tulsi people did that as well. Not at my place because not a single person showed up for Tulsi. We had about 800 people show at my location. The viability number was 106 because they divided by the number of candidates, blah, blah, blah. So each person needed at least 106 to be viable. Joe Biden had 52. So, he's number one in the polls. Let me tell you, I was in Iowa 5 weeks. I saw one Joe Biden sign. One. And I was in 5 different cities. So, I don't know. Yeah, he had 52 votes. Okay. He wasn't viable. So I got some of, Yang people. I got some Biden people. Bernie said that we actually got the most realignment votes, over 2,500, which is freaking amazing. Because what that means is that even though Bernie may not be their first choice, they are still willing to vote for him. That's a big deal because when you have like 5 candidates who are viable and you choose to go with Bernie, that's a big deal. That means that people are still okay with us, even though they may not, join us right away. Now, no one for Tulsi. Tulsi literally got 0.1% in Iowa. That's it. Not even 1%. It's like what Bernie says, about rich people. 0.1%. That's how much she got. Like, it was something like 300 votes across the entire state of Iowa. It was pathetic. So this is the problem I have. In Iowa, it's not as big of a deal if you vote for whoever, because you can realign. You just go, you vote for who you want. If they don't make the 15%, you realign with your second choice. It's like a second chance, essentially. New Hampshire doesn't do that. What you're doing is you're voting for someone who literally has no chance in hell of winning this nomination and is only taking votes from Bernie. That's a problem I have, because Tulsi people and Yang people, their second choice primarily is Bernie. They'll either not vote or go to Bernie. I mean, everybody knows this shit. So by you both not dropping, by you both not saying to back Bernie, you are taking our votes away. You are. So don't act like this is, oh, we're all in it together. No, we're actually not. You guys are all running against each other for the same position. That's not unity. That's not working together. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, I am salty that Tulsi's still in this. I am. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of people are too. They just may not say it, out loud, but I get PMs left and right. Why is she still in here? I don't know. But she is, I mean, the fact of the matter is we need all these votes in New Hampshire. We've been beating everyone in New Hampshire for 10 points for months, and we won it hardcore last time. But now Pete's going up. It's disgusting. He's gross, ill. But that doesn't change the fact that he is rising ever since Monday. Now, the final, even though we're appealing 14 of the districts because our numbers don't match, you have Pete with apparently, 0.1 of 1%. So 1/10 of 1% different than Bernie. If New Hampshire comes and there's, 1%, 2%, let's say 3% of votes for Tulsi and Yang, now, they're not getting any delegates, period. They're not. It's mathematically impossible. And let's say Pete beats us for 2%. You going to be cool with that? I'm not. I'm going to say, guess what? Vote for your second choice, because he's the only one who has a chance of winning. And the fact of the matter is, if you want Tulsi so bad, you know damn right well she's not going to win. So maybe you should vote for Bernie, because he'll have her in his cabinet, and you know he will. So, it's time to stop fucking around. It's just time. This worries me. This absolutely worries me. We are playing for delegates. This isn't, oh, well, I kind of like this person, but, no. We need votes. We need delegates. If we don't get them, you're going to wind up with someone you're going to wind up with Buttigieg, Biden, someone like that. And that's, you guys got to live with who you vote for. I'm not trying to vote shame. I'm just saying, your person has 0 chance of winning. 0. So why not go to your second choice, since you all say you love him so much and all this shit? Go with him. I just don't get that. I don't. Let me see. Yeah, Mark, right on. The campaign did not request a recount. What happens is the campaigns actually have to pay for it themselves to request an official recanvass, which is complete and utter bullshit. Here's what Bernie did, though. He and the team actually came out with exact results. See, what happens is at the caucus, we submitted our numbers through a Bernie app. In 14 states, or in 14 precincts, they do not correlate with the ones Perez is saying they have. With this, we should have 3 more delegates than he does. We do not. That's the problem. So, I mean, what it comes down to is that we did win the popular vote. We have New Hampshire in 3 days. I think, at this point, I think Bernie is just focusing on getting our receipts out. And I mean, honestly, we need all the money we're raising to win. And I think that, spending so much to recanvass everything, and do we trust them to recanvass? I sure as hell don't. I don't trust them to do it again and to spend like so much money to have them do it. Hell no. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it. We've already shown our receipts. We've made it very clear we won the popular vote. I am worried about New Hampshire because of what I was saying. Absolutely. Here's the interesting thing, Margaret. I just don't see Warren dropping. I just don't. I think she is just like so like ego hungry, and it's just kind of crazy the way she just loves the camera. Well, so does Yang, honestly. But I feel like if Warren does drop, she's going to do a unity ticket with Biden. And other people have said that as well. Warren did cancel a lot of her commercials. She canceled some of her appearances. She is kind of, she's making some changes, which kind of makes me happy. On caucus night, I have never seen Warren look so gaunt and so sad. Her staff members quit in Nevada. Nice. Yes, Hector, I absolutely agree. Absolutely. One of the things that also, I was fuming. Oh my God, I was shaking. Warren decided to say tonight that Amy and I are the only people on the stage who aren't billionaires and who don't take PAC money. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bernie has never taken PAC money. She has. I don't know about Amy. I haven't looked into her. But Liz has taken plenty of PAC money throughout the years, as recent as her last campaign in 2018, and actually the beginning of her presidential run. She took PAC money. And she also said she'll take it in the general. So excuse me? You're the only non-billionaire and non-person to take PAC money besides Amy? Oh, hell no. And you know what? To be honest, there's 2 things Bernie pissed me off with tonight. I see people asking how I thought he did. Well, the one thing that pissed me off was that he didn't bring it up and say to her, nope, that's not true. I never take PAC money. He could have called her out so damn easily. He didn't. Now, he was, in fairness, he was answering another question at the same time, and they cut him off. But still, I was like, really, Bernie? Like, you had a real reason to go at her. The second thing that pissed me off is that one of the moderators asked about Miss Nina and said about her article that, where she called Biden, a racist and things like that. And they asked, Bernie, do you agree with the things she said? And Bernie quickly said no, but, and then just kind of like, no, Bernie, no. What you need to say is that Miss Nina is a strong Black woman, and her opinion means more than what Joe has to say as a white man. That's what you need to say. That pissed me off. And I know it caught him off guard. I get it. I understand. But no one has been more loyal than Nina. No one. And Miss Nina doesn't seem, honestly, she doesn't seem too pissed by it because she's on Twitter posting the article again and stuff. And but that hurt. That really hurt. I was like, no, Bernie, you need to say it's not about whether I agree or not as a white man. It's not okay. That really bothered me because Miss Nina is a queen. Let's just keep it real. She's a freaking queen. And she has done so much for our campaign. I don't understand why he's capitulating to Joe. I don't get it. It pisses me off. As far as saying Nina for VP, I have been over a year, I've been saying burn intern 2020. I have told Miss Nina probably about 5 times to her face that I want her to be VP. And it's funny the way her reactions have changed. At first, she was like, okay. And then she would go to, well, I have to be interviewed. And then she would, and then now it's, thank you. And she'll give me a hug. But, and someone said to her last week, they were like, they said, good morning, VP Turner. And she said, good morning. So that was really exciting. I was like, holy shit, she's down with it. Like, she's really thinking about it. But yeah, after meeting Rashida in Iowa, Rashida Tlaib, she is one of the kindest, most inspiring. I adore her. I cried when I was talking to her and she started crying and we just hugged about 15 times and she held my hands in her hands and I just love her. And a lot of people want her as VP. I'd be okay with that as well. Just please no Warren. I don't give a, just please no Warren. Because that shit, I'll vote for Bernie regardless, but I'm sorry. That shit will literally friggin', I have to hold my nose because I can't with her. One of the things Bernie said on his town hall last night, which we all suspected, was that he will likely announce a VP before the convention. And that it will likely be a woman. And we absolutely always thought it would be. So I'm okay with that. I don't want it to be Tulsi at all. Period. They're too different on too many things. And She's not showing her loyalty by staying in the race. But and other things, but yeah, no, I do not want it to be Tulsi. I think her endorsement would actually hurt us at this point because she is so loathed by so many that actually if she came out and said, I'm dropping out, but I endorse Bernie, that may actually hurt us. I'm not saying I don't want her to do it. I'm just saying, like, um she hasn't made a lot of friends the past few months. Let's put it that way. Um I think it would be amazing if Bernie did announce by the time we went to convention. I think Nina would be the strongest. She has been a senator. I know she's not like super politically like, seasoned. However, I think, also, just let's keep it real. A strong woman of color as VP. What? Yes. Yes, please. And furthermore, seeing her debate Mike Pence, that would be, oh my God, that would be amazing. So it's really, I don't know. The thing I love about Nina is she is a Dem, but she will rip them a new one. She does not care. She will straight up tell Mira and all them, listen, I really don't care about Dems. I just want people to hold them accountable. Period. As far as, let's see, Warren, Pete said that Bernie says it's my way or the highway. Bernie has never said that. Bernie says no middle ground. Bernie says no to incrementalism. Bernie says no to breadcrumbs. That's not my way or the highway. That's give these people some crumbs, and then for 30 more years, they'll say, well, we already gave you a little. You don't need any more. Bernie's saying, don't settle. We've waited this long for them to change this. Let's not settle. Let's go in all the way. It's that simple. Only privileged are okay with incrementalism. People who are really hurting are not okay with it. And unless you are, have empathy and understand and want to help people who are really hurting, you won't be okay with it either. When you say things like, vote blue no matter who and stuff, you are privileged. You are telling people, no matter how bad this is hurting my family, no matter how bad my life is right now, you're telling me they're all the same because they have a D next to their name, and that is not accurate. People have value. People have, people matter. People should be able to say, look, that's cool if you'll vote for any of them, but why don't you stay home in the primaries and let those of us who actually care about issues do the voting? Since you said you'll vote blue no matter who, you can take care of it in the general. Let us do it now. What else? Yeah, so when he said, when Joe said, some candidates are like, it's my way or the highway, and the moderator said, are you talking about Senator Sanders? And he goes, yes. One of the wonderful things tonight about Bernie was he said, he goes, this isn't about billionaires, Pete, with your 40 billionaire donations. Like, it was hardcore. I was like, yes, Bernie, yes. And he, he did talk about winning the popular vote. I mean, all we've heard about for 4 years is popular vote, popular vote, popular vote. Well, guess what? Popular vote, period. Um, See, and I get that, Daryl. I think my problem with Tulsi is not just that, she constantly says aloha and then has a surrogate who is a bully and, just a very horrible, ugly person. Um, it's also because she's against the federal job guarantee. She pushes UBI. She stated that all the Dem candidates are for open borders when actually none of them are. She gives props to Mike Huckabee. She defends W. She defends Biden. A lot of her posts are incredibly unsettling. And I don't see her and Bernie together as I used to. When I wrote Bernie in 2016, I wrote Tulsi as VP. I don't see her that way anymore. I don't know if she's changed or if she's becoming more transparent. I'm not sure. I do not support her. I just don't. And I've learned a lot about her that really that just really makes me uncomfortable. What do I give Bernie? Well, I would say, see, this is rough. I would say a B plus. And that's only because I'm salty about how he didn't go hard for Nina. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why. So I would say, here's my problem with Barbara Lee. She endorsed Kamala Harris. That's an issue. That's an absolute issue. Yeah, Kamala dropped out, but her endorsing Kamala, that's a really big problem. Furthermore, Barbara actually is 74. Bernie's 78. One of the problems we have getting people to vote for him is his age. And one of the things that worked for us in Iowa was telling people he's going to have a younger VP. So that's also a concern I have with Barbara. But yeah, Talib is only 43. Yes. Yeah, Cheryl, you know what? I've heard other people say that. People who live in Hawaii keeps saying, why isn't she speaking against the TMT and the climate? And that's absolutely, you're absolutely correct. Let me see. Yeah, I agree, Robert, and I think that's so some of the things that I was talking about that I don't like about Tulsi is the she is, well, I mean, I don't like her constantly defending people like W, Obama, you know, uh, giving props to Mike Huckabee, things like this that I don't, that's, I, no, no, that's not okay. I also don't support her being against the federal jobs guarantee. That is necessary. Her being against that is not okay. It's not. Um, Her not signing onto the Green New Deal, not okay. Yes, I understand the OFF Act. I get it. But things like this, she just rubs me the wrong way. It's a bunch of things. It's not like I'm the only person who says this. Will I protest um if Bernie has her in his cabinet? No. I mean, it's just someone I'm not going to outwardly support. Um Wait, what? Wait. Who's blaming who's blaming Russia for Iowa? Are you being facetious? Yeah, I don't know, like, it worries me about her past too, but to be quite honest with you, I do give her slack because when you're like born into like whatever, it's like, I mean, I gotta give you some slack. I do think she has changed, on some things, but um, yeah, Tulsi did give props to Rush Limbaugh. Exactly, she did. I mean, um, Joy for VP. Hey, hey. Nah, Bernie can't handle my cursing all the time. But I did I don't know how much I don't know how much I had to do with it, but um I did, my time in Iowa was I lost 18 pounds canvassing and being so nervous I wasn't freaking eating. Um but I think I made over 3,000 phone calls to locals to get them activated. I knocked on hundreds of doors. I organized events. I mean, I did like anything and everything. I just did everything I could. I just I don't know. I'm very proud of the 5 weeks I went there. I honestly could not have done it without you guys because you actually chipped in the money to get me there. Um do I think Bernie will win California? Listen, we're number 1 in the polls. California already started early voting. We have tons of votes already. You know what I'm going to say? I'm scared of them fucking with us. If there was a way that I knew that if there was a way that we wouldn't be fucked with, we would freaking steal California. There would be no competition. But as you guys know, she, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I just don't know. Last time California fucking killed us. It killed us because they took over 2 million votes and stuffed them in red boxes and they're still in storage because they were giving anyone with Bernie shirts and Bernie buttons, NPP, no party preference, ballots. Also, here's another problem. Now I haven't seen this, to be 100% honest, but someone I do not envy you. Take that. Oh my god. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Hey, someone named Envy likes talking shit about the way I look. So, aw, Snork, I don't know about that, but I helped. um, so, and, you know, California, yeah, absolutely. Iowa is frustrating because, um, because it is a white state. I mean, let's be real. It's a white state, and it goes first. So, yeah, Buttigieg is going to do well there. People of color, he's still polling at 0%. So, and, you know, the one good thing about our campaign is we did get the most people of color. And that is African Americans, Hispanic. I mean, we did get the most. So it's really, I don't know. I say, you know, I say a lot, like this entire race is like the SATs. It really is. It could go a million different ways with who stays in, who stays out, who endorses who. I mean, I just don't freaking know. It's so crazy. Did I know about the Bernie app? I had heard rumors. The problem is that here's the thing. We have a Bernie app. That's what it's called, the Bernie app. That's how we submitted our totals. Okay, so people were saying Bernie app, and that's what we all thought they were talking about. There's actually a DNC app. So, you know, and is, you know, anytime the DNC is involved with anything, you know, you know shit's about to go down. Absolutely, Red Moon. I think that it is so imperative that even though you feel dirty, even though you want to take a shower for like an hour and a half afterwards, register Dem. If you're in Cali, please don't take any chances. Please don't. They'll give you the wrong ballot. They'll try to confuse you. You'll see different, you know, things written up online that, no, you should ask for this, you should ask for that. Don't chance it. Just register Dem. I'm in Pennsylvania. I had to register Dem to vote for Bernie, and I hate it. You know, I don't want to be a Dem. I'm not a Dem. The day after I vote, I'm going to freaking go back to independent. But in order to make sure we're voting for Bernie, and if you want your, you know, your vote to count, we got to go Dem, just because, you know, thank you, Red Moon. Yeah, Robert, I hear you. I was like, oh my God, I gotta take a shower. I feel so disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just something we have to do. But at the same time, when you think about it, it is just such a, you know, a small price to pay for something that's so important. Like, if it means I have to register Dem to get people health care and to get them, you know, their student loan forgiveness and stuff, do it. I don't care. Like, it's nothing. It's, you know, ends justify the means by far. So it's all good. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love looking at your comments. Yep. Hey, Rob. Yeah, Nick, you're freaking lucky. We seriously need a just open primaries all across the board. If we had open primaries in 2016, we would have Bernie as president. It's that simple. They're changing people's registration without their knowledge. Wouldn't have mattered. Them purging voters wouldn't have mattered. They could register on the spot that day. Everything they did to us, not everything, but a majority of things they did to us could have been rectified immediately had we had open primaries. And that's one of the reasons they don't want them, because it's so much easier for independents to vote. um, it's easier to stifle, our voices. Yeah, Native Americans did show up in force in Iowa for Bernie. The day I got to Iowa, which was the 1st of January, I went to a town hall with Bernie, and it was a town hall with indigenous peoples. And so there was a panel of natives, and the entire audience was Native American, except for like me and the some people I went with and a few others. And one thing that Bernie was stressing is, he said, these people will be in my cabinet. They are actually, going to be in my cabinet, helping me with the actual climate proposals, things like that. They're not just going to be, corporatist in there. They are going to be people who are affected. It's just like, the criminal justice reform bill he made. He actually had people of color who have been formerly incarcerated help him write the bill. This is what a good president does. This is what a good rep does. He listens to we the people and actually has, the people who have experienced it and the people who are affected by it the most to actually help him write the legislation. What? Where are these people coming from? When am I scheduled? What? Oh my God. You guys are crazy. What are you talking about? Why are you asking me about a menstrual cycle, you weirdo? Oh my God. These people are like seriously out tonight. Oh my. So anyway, so I will be doing, people ask me, if I've considered running for office, and no, definitely no. I curse too much. I say what's on my mind too much. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think I may get like 5 votes from people, from like anarchists. And that's like it. Like, that's it. It's like everyone else would be like, oh my God, she's so crazy. She wants to burn it down. Yes, I do. So it would be an experience, that's for sure. But yeah, so I will be, doing another show shortly, within probably the weekend. I hate running too, Jesus. I do too. But I will jog or walk fast. So I will be doing a show, Hector, I was saying earlier that, as far as recanvassing Iowa, that is something the particular candidate has to pay for, and it's not cheap. So the fact that we won the popular vote, Bernie has already provided the receipts of our discrepancies. I think, it behooves us at this point to just focus on New Hampshire, as much of a bummer as it is. I think, at this point it would just be kind of, utilizing so much of our resources and, being presumptuous that they would actually counted correctly this time. They didn't last time, so I definitely would not, um, trust them to recanvass and give that. Um, just me. I, Listen, I am with you. I am with you. No, I'm with you. Um, so yeah, no, I can't listen to him. I met Jimmy a couple of years ago, and I have Ron on all the time. I go on Ron's show. I went on Ron's again last week. He wanted to interview me while I was in Iowa. Um, I can't with Jimmy. I can't. He is such a Bernie basher and a Tulsi praiser. I can't. Like, can't do it. Yeah, I can't. Um, oh my God, you guys are killing me. Um, Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. So I will be going live at some point over the weekend. And I would, and I'll be sharing my experiences in Iowa, everything like that, what I liked, what I didn't like, what was hard, and will I be on status quo? I don't know, because everyone was recommended me, and it was like getting all these retweets and all this stuff, and then I emailed Jordan and he ignored it. So I don't know. Who knows? I don't think he's a fan of me. I just don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's just, yeah, I don't know. Because everyone's like, Joy, you gotta go on. You gotta go on. And then I messaged him and crickets. So it's all good. Hugs. Okay, guys. So again, I'll be going live at some point this weekend to talk about Iowa. Also, tomorrow morning, I will be canvassing for signatures in Pennsylvania to get Bernie on the ballot. Yes, that is a thing. In many states, we absolutely have to get signatures to get candidates on the ballot, even presidential, which is insane. So we learned in 2016 what we're going to do. Again, we are getting way more than we need, because what they do is they say, oh, well, this person's not a Democrat, so that signature doesn't count. And this person's not in that district, so that doesn't count. And this person's illegible, so that doesn't count. And blah, 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 blah. And, I don't know. So it's like, I just don't know. It's, yeah. No, you guys, I know. Like, I know. I don't know why Jordan, like, it. I don't know. Oh, Ron's been mentioning me. Oh, that's my buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, how could Jordan not want to talk to me? I'm just such a delight. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in and being so supportive. The 5 weeks I was gone. I am so glad I did it. I am, it was an experience of a lifetime. Absolutely. I did a show with Jamarl. I did one with him. We don't agree on a lot, so it made it interesting. I'm gonna have to thank Ron. That's really sweet. Right on, you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. You are amazing. I did have Katie Halper on, and we had a lot of great fun. I mean, like straight up, if you guys want to see me on these shows, that's up to you to tweet at them. I'm not gonna sell myself. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, can I come on? Like, if like, I'm totally down with going on with Matt and Katie. Like I said, Katie follows me. She came on my show. But, you know, if you guys want to see that, tweet it at them. No, I will not be going on Convo Couch. Thank you very much. I have been. I'm good. So, yeah, I mean, feel free to tweet at Jordan or whoever you want to see me on. Oh my God. Iowa for Bernie. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I adore you. I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me and being so awesome. You guys rock. Much love.